Whoa,
Really?
2.569.
I actually don't know. Nah. Anyway, I guess we already started without you guys, and welcome to another episode of the podcast.
Oh, did we start? Oh,
yes, we start.
Yes.
Oh. How's it going, guys?
Episode 24, Illusionary Dominance, podcast of Wind. As you can see, we have the hottest meme on the land, BlazeDragon, with us. And it's me, your boy Genki, and the other boy Elos. So
Hey.
guys, say hi again.
How is everyone doing today, huh? I'm glad you all guys decided to watch the podcast instead of some whack-ass soccer games that are happening today.
Hey, Japan is winning, I think. Okay. Well, I didn't say 23. I said 20. Wait, did I say 24? Yeah, I think I said 24. Anyway,
I don't know at this point. We got 3 characters left after this.
yeah, we are tied as well. So we're starting directly with Aya. We don't have any recall or anything. We just go in, all fast, all cool, all good, all.
Yeah, we're snipping some of the recap stuff. What all did we take out? Yeah, no tourney recap. No pre-chilling. We're just going right into characters.
We are technically recalling the fact that we don't do recall, so that's kind of off. But anyway, we should go ahead. We have players that is pressing buttons, specifically Aya buttons already. Wow, what a committed guy. So as usual, we start the presentation of the character through the lore and the main games, and we have Elos for that. So please go ahead, my man.
Yeah, Aya Shameimaru. She first appeared in Phantasmagoria of Flowerview, which was the bullet hell 1v1 game. And Zone actually created her specifically for the Shoot the Bullet game, which is the photography Danmaku.
Oh.
And he had that concept in mind after Toho 6. So he had been planning on releasing this character for a while. He was pretty excited, which is, I mean, everyone knows that Aya is kind of Zone's waifu.
I didn't know that.
After that, she's appeared in a couple of other main games, like she was a boss number 4 in Mountain of Faith. She was a partner in Subterranean Animism. And since that, she's appeared in a lot of spin-offs, such as like Scarlet with a Rhapsody, the fighting game, Hisouten Soku as like the expanded roster, and then the other Danmaku photography game, which is Double Spoiler. And then she's also one of the many yokai who tries to catch Saija in Impossible Spell card with her impossible spells. Little overview of like who she is. Background: she's a Crow Tengu yokai. She lived in Gensokyo for about 1,000 years. She can manipulate the wind, which is fitting for Tengu ability. She lives on the yokai mountain. The wind always moves the same speed and direction up there, and she's a news reporter.
Doesn't she?
Yeah, she's a news reporter. Oh, what is a Tengu?
Ooh, the Tengu, the guys with the long noses. I love those guys.
It's a Japanese yokai. I don't know if yokai, but they live high on the mountain.
Right.
And they have big noses.
Obviously.
At least I know Aya and her friends live high on a mountain. So something about the lore that I don't know is I don't know if Aya has anything to do with the Tengu's forces that they usually have, like with Momi and everything like that. Momiji, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but and then there's like Tenma-sama too, like a character that we have no knowledge of. That's part of the. That's actually one of the strongest Tengus. I don't know where Aya fits into all this. It looks like she's just like a Tengu on the side, and then she's like super fast and takes pictures and a news reporter. But as far as her connection with like the actual Tengus, it doesn't seem like she has too much, honestly.
True.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about that, because the top top chief Tengu is briefly mentioned in a couple of scenarios. Once in Mountain of Faith, where Aya said she was gonna go easy on the playable character because that was like boss's orders. But her relationships, I mean, most of the interaction you're gonna see is from the fighting games and the storyline of the main games and some archives.
Aya is pretty prominent in the general role.
In the manga, it's pretty popular.
Yeah. Pretty
Do
popular.
we have anything on the manga?
Shoot.
One of those Elos has anything on the manga?
Oh, not particularly. I didn't prepare anything, but
Well, what I can remember from the manga is, okay, I don't remember much about Silent Sinner on the Blue, how she was a big part of that, but I do remember that she was a big part of Wild and Horned Hermit. I think it's the one with Kasen is the main character. No. She's a big part in like Forbidden Scarlet. There you go, where she was basically just always visiting. Who was that girl? Kazusu. And she found like these yokai scrolls, and she wanted to become a yokai. It was pretty weird. It was like it was basically like a yokai weeaboo. And Aya was always like she was always trying to chase around Kazusu. I don't know why. I don't remember exactly, but I think Aya didn't actually hurt Kazusu or anything like that. But she was always like trying to discover more about the issue and stuff.
yeah, she's very curious about rumors and finding out new information about people or gossip or anything going on.
I mean, she's basically a journalist for what matters.
I was gonna quickly touch on Tengu because someone asked me that. They're a type of legendary creature. Some consider them gods, or like some people worship these, but they're thought to take forms of like birds. That's where the crow comes from, but they usually have both human and bird characteristics. Sometimes one more than the other. And yeah, they have dick noses.
The big noses are the most important thing. Seems that Blaze knows a lot about the good old lore of the character. But do you feel like Aya is actually well represented in the fighting game, both in moveset and everything else?
Well, the speed definitely. Like she's hella fast and shit, right?
Yeah.
She just fucking goes over. Every time I fight like a new player or someone who doesn't face Aya usually, they end up thinking, wow, this character is really freaking fast. And yeah, like her moves are freaking fast. Her air dashes are pretty mobile too. And she actually gets to J5A from really close. She gets to J5A really close to the ground, even though she doesn't hold her high jump for too long. She also has like one of the best JDAs and stuff. But like basically it's like all of her moveset is fast. Plus she has like a lot of tornado attacks too. So I think that's cool. Her bullets are fast. The slowest ones are just fast traveling bullets, or the thing that looks like a tornado. So yeah, I feel like Aya is well represented in this game. Besides, well, I don't think she has any photography attacks.
Yeah, that's actually bad.
That would have been interesting to implement.
Strangely enough, she got nothing about that. She just fast, wind, and that's it.
Yeah, and I guess rocks. Really.
Yeah, pebbles.
Yeah.
Wind.
For some reason, rocks. Strange combination. We're already here, I suppose. We're already talking about the character in the terms of the game, so we go straight into it, into the meat. So let's talk about the most important part of any character, the neutral. Are you supposed to play the neutral of a character, of this character specifically?
Well, I think Aya as an own character, she tends to play like always play. She has this similar playstyle where she's like trying to get in people's faces, or she's just really careful. because she can play carefully too, and then just like dash up to you and hit you. But even though it always looks like that, it's I think Aya always deals with like other characters' bullets and stuff like a lot more than other characters usually have to, because once all of her bullets stop piercing everything, or you're not the type of player who just likes spamming domination dash, then you're sort of forced to like have to move around a lot in a lot of bullets, and have to hit the opponent with really fast like melee normals. So I mean, I think she's cool because like in terms of if you like a lot of movement and you like being able to go for reads and hitting people with fast normals, like I think you'll have a lot of fun with this character. But if you like to chill back and throw bullets and stuff, you're gonna have a few matchups where you can do that. But like, I think she ends up kind of submitting to the other characters' bullet options and having to deal with them. Not in the sense that it makes her neutral weaker, but in the sense that the only option that she has is to be like the player in the Danmaku games where she has to dodge bullets and hit you. But a lot of characters usually like feel really oppressed when you do that to them. So people always think that Aya has like the full momentum and everything. But Aya players on the other side also feel like man, I have to deal with all this bullet shit. Like what the fuck? I need like a strong bullet and everything.
So she's mostly kind of avoiding the opponent's bullets and stuff, waiting for this sort of precise bullet sniper like melee opportunity.
Yeah, she's always trying to graze in and stuff, hitting you with fast normals. And it depends on what matchup that you're playing that where that becomes easier or not, because like when you play Suako, then you realize that it's really a pain in the ass. Actually, I'm not the best Aya in the world, but like I really had a lot of problems playing native, one of the best Suako players that we have currently playing with Aya. And I was trying to play in a way where like I was still like going in, but damn, like once that 2-2 smoke came out, it just feels like I have to really either I have to kill myself trying to get in, or block the smoke and then border escape forward, or just like wait around for an opportunity. And she's not like the only character. Like it's also Komachi, right, where she just like presses 5C and then I have to like wait a fuck ton of time to actually go in.
So we're talking about lack of density. Like this dense.
Like it's really weird. Like because with Aya, you really get to understand what it feels like to have lack of density or lack of anything that pierces bullets. Where in most of the matchups you say, okay, I'm just going to get good and keep like flying forward or keep flying in place and just eventually find a place in. But when you play like Suako or Komachi, then it just feels like, damn, I really just have to wait this one out. And plus, like, there's just like a few exceptions in terms of speed where there's also like meleeing, where sure, not only can you not pierce her bullet, she's also almost as fast as you and then faster than you in some ways. So it's a good thing that Aya's neutral, even though it's not the best. It's still like powered up by like her spell cards, because if she only had like neutral, then it would be very like 50-50 whether matchup is good for you. It's like night and day in some matchups. But I think just because of how oppressive she is once she has locked you down, it's kind of it kind of balances out really well.
So you're trying to move into pressure, but before going into that, because that's really important for in neutral, are there any buttons you prefer over anything else? Like, I mean, every kind of button, from melee to bullets.
Yeah.
To...
You mentioned the fast normals. Like, which normals in particular?
All right. Well, first, like, there's a difference in people who try to play Aya, even though they're all pressing fast normals. Even though there's a lot of them, but usually there's the Aya player who likes to attack from above and play J5A game or J2B game. And these moves are really safe. Like J2C sometimes to get a snipe from full screen because it curves as well, but mostly just like using the JB bullets well and using very good diagonals. And occasionally some J66s to move across horizontally on the air. And yeah, the diagonals are pretty good on characters with like that don't have very good anti-airs or that are easier to hit on with diagonals. So you get tall characters or slow characters. But I think this really gets hard when you get to like characters that are small or have good anti-airs. So when you're racing, like I feel like diagonals get a lot weaker as Aya. So you have to play on the same field as racing. But you know, in that case, I think it's also just like sort of general playstyle how you decide to play with Aya. Because in the air you still have a few more moving options on the ground. So I feel like if you really want to be someone who likes to go for a lot of B bullets and diagonals, J5As and stuff like that, and J2As eventually, or going up into the sky and pressing J236, and if you level that up, it like creates this spread on the ground that's kind of cool. Then you can do that. But I usually play an Aya that likes to stay below people, just because I love using this the J8A move. It's so big and like I think it's 11 frame start, right? Am I wrong in that?
Let me check just to be sure. It's pretty fast though, so I don't think you're wrong. It's really fast.
If it's 11 frames, I'm officially an Aya main.
It's 11. It's 11.
Oh, nice! I remember my frame data with that actually studying a lot. Oh, nice.
What a man.
So yeah, this thing is 11 frames, and although it's not very it's not as tall as Raisin's is vertically, right? That's how you say up and down.
Right.
It has it like it's so fast, and it covers actually a lot of diagonal range, which is pretty much like the best option when you're facing against characters with dumb J2As that have also a lot of diagonal reach. So you have Iku's J2A, which is a diagonal downward attack. And if you talk to Fear or you talk to I feel like any Iku player would say, in a face off between J8A and J2A, Aya's J8A will always have like this advantage. Even though it's only like 2 frames faster than Iku. I think it's because like when you're on the ground, high jumping and J8Aing is actually a lot faster, and you know, trying to move and trying to space out your trying to get the right spacing for your diagonal J2A. But it doesn't even have to be like J2A. It can also you know, anyone high above for J8A to hit, and fear not, because Aya's J8A can actually be done pretty low. Like if you high jump, if you do like a diagonal high jump, J8A actually hits pretty low. But it can reach pretty far too, because Aya's high jump is pretty good. But you know what? There's also like the weird animation, the weird what do you call sprite? Yeah, where like it actually looks like it hits a lot more than it does. And this I think like a long time ago, this used to put me off, because you know, you see the huge fan swipe and you think, wow, is that the whole attack? But it's not actually the whole attack. It's like half of it. It's like the whole attack. But you have a high jump J5A for this, and this is like your regular Soku air to air, which I call an anti-air too, because fuck, Soku is just different.
You're not wrong. So.
And this J5A is regarded as like one of the best. I think it's probably top 3. I really can't say much about which one is truly the best, because there's also like Yomu's, and there's a few other ones that I don't really that I think have some advantage over Aya's J5A sometimes. Races especially that hits backwards. But we all know that Aya's J5A is good. So I think if you use this as an anti-air, you have like a lot of potential to hit opponents that try to stay in your airspace. So you snipe them with J5A, and if they're on the J8A blind spot, which you have to learn, because you know it's not the whole sprite. So using these two moves correctly off a high jump will actually score you a lot of hot points, wins and stuff like that. But you need to combo, of course. But that goes for another part. You know, I can't teach you combos because I'm bad at them too. But
Wow.
all right. So I mean, you can't really stay all the time just like waiting for an opponent to be in the air and you jitting them. Though that works often enough, but like you eventually have to like move around and stuff because there's also Raisin where like she has these fast J2B cancels. So if you try to just like be hella chat and try to air to air with J she's just gonna J2B you and you're gonna get comboed. So even like with these fast normals, you have to move around and high jump a bit and get like maybe get under Raisin or get under Petroli and try to J them from a place where they actually their bullets are not hitting. But this is assuming you know that the opponent is above you. So let's say you're playing from the ground or at least low air, and the opponent is like on the ground as well or low air. I think this is like where you have the J5A come into place where it's really good. So Aya's J5A is like I don't know how much startup it has. Probably 7. Am I right on that?
Let me check. J5A
Looks like
8, almost.
Oh, dang!
startup 6 active.
Dang. Okay, close enough. I don't know how 6 frames active is relative to other J5As. I think it's medium. But it does have a lot of it has very little recovery. So I think you can do like J5A like twice before you hit the ground. But you know, since we're going back to the opponent being lower on the ground, this J5A hits really good diagonally. It reaches very high because Aya's legs are so like damn, they're actually long and fat. And plus, I think they added an extra hitbox on the shoe because that shoe is ridiculous too. But technically,
It's a long
like,
shoe.
Yeah. I think the shoe actually added an extra hitbox. But if the opponent is like low air, this J5A works. You also got J2B, which you like become a half tier Raisin because you don't shoot 3 bullets, or you can't really combo as well from Aya's J2B as you can with Raisin. But you know, you do have this fast cancels, and you have the potential to snipe people from that are mid-air or on the ground with J2B. Plus, you can like annoy them because these bullets are kind of medium speed, so opponents are forced to move forward or move back to actually avoid getting sniped with this JB bullets. But also on the ground, right? Usually this doesn't happen, but there are a few situations where opponents are on the ground with you and you're also on the ground and you don't feel like, you know, just high jumping J5A because I don't know, like maybe it's racing, it's just ready for that high jump J5A and ready to high jump air to area with the J5A, or 6 being you as well. Or you know, you're playing Oku, you're playing versus Oku, and every time you high jump, she just like presses 3A and you go to like the other dimension. So that's when like you have to use the 6XA, which I think is pretty good too. I think like one of the things that make a good character is a good 6XA, and this thing is like I think 11 frame startup, so that should put it on like, I think that puts it on the best tier for 6XAs, right? I think it's 11 frames. Am I right on that?
6A. Yeah, you're right.
Hey.
Okay. All right. So you got this really good 6XA that moves you forward pretty well as well. It has a deceptive sprite because it doesn't actually hit that high, but regardless of that, you know, it can catch a few high jumps, and having 11 frames, maybe it's only okay. You get 1 frame faster than most 6XAs, but I think every frame of speed counts. Honestly, I'm not really reliable to tell you all the science on this, but I think that just having this really fast 6XA gives you the ability to stop people who with something from the air and land, and you can just 6-6A them, and get a high jump or a combo of that. Now the problem with Aya 6-6A is just like when you hit them off the air, they're like kind of they start flying on the air, and sometimes 2-3-6 doesn't combo, so that's annoying, and you can't really combo very well from that 6-6A. In some characters, like if they're big enough, 6-6A 2-3-6 always hits, but like yeah, it's kind of just matchup specific. Either way, you always have like a handy 6-6A on your plate, you know, and you also have like 6-6C, which is like really good for people who are spamming bullets low air, or spamming them on the ground, or trying to play some heavy delay bullets on the ground too, like Oku 6B or stuff like that. So this 6-6C is pretty good, and I don't know what it comes into exactly. It comes into the tornado. I know the air tornado. It doesn't combo into the 3-card pressure tornado. I'm pretty sure it combos into like in counter hit should combo into a lot of spell cards. If you have any questions, just ask Splinter, the guy who got cucked from the podcast.
Okay. I'll take this moment before you start machine gunning meme or mission to say that one, it can join. It didn't feel like it could. It was able to join. No, it didn't feel like that. And let's move from neutral to pressure, because you were going into that before, and you explained neutral pretty damn well, I think.
Oh yeah.
But let's literally J5A into pressure. How do you deal with that? Like, okay, let's say you get from neutral and you get the opponent stuck somewhere. What do you do? How do you make it strong?
The pressure?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing this is a situation where like I'm thinking Aya knocked down a nigga, right? I mean, not knocked down a person. Sorry, my New Jersey came out for a second.
Calm down there, calm down. One step after the other.
So you knock down a player in the corner, and assuming you have good Okizeme, you can start with J5A, or you can.
That's for later. That's for later. That's for later.
You can start with J5A or dash up in 2AM or 6AM or something. Depending on how your blocks, on what the first thing that the opponent blocks is I think it really builds up what you can do with Aya in terms of pressure. And this doesn't apply just to Aya, you know. If you start a block string with like a certain move, you have to go into a certain cancels that you can actually do off that. For example, 6-6A, you know, if that gets ROM blocked and it's plus, then of course you can like pressure. You can reset into mostly jabs in this game with 6-6A ROM blocks. If your 6-6A is like minus, then you gotta hold that. If it gets right blocked, then you also have to hold that. So 6-6A is like something that you probably should use for like catching people who you think are gonna high jump and wake up. But let's get the best scenario, which is like 2A or J5A. Now with J5A, I think you get like an extra mix-up, because I usually like to do J2B after J5A, just because people are not really going to border escape that J5A to begin with. I don't know, I think most people are scared. So you use J2B and you get like 0.5 orbs, and they probably right block the J5A, so not they're like at 4.5, and you do like a J66, and really low to the ground as well. So either you can go for that J66 J5A, or you can actually go for a low 2A. And even after the second J5A, like you can still go into a high and low with like J66 J5A land and then 6A, and if they block low because they expected a 2A, then you get a ROM block. So I think you can get like one orb, maybe even 1 orb and a half or 2, if you get this initial mix-up down. Which I'm guessing, like if you get to the lowest, the worst possibility, it at least be like 0.5, because they ROM block. They block the J2B. So your opponent now has like, I don't know how many, 4.5 orbs in the ground. and now you have to do like staggers and stuff, right? Which like no one blocks because we're in Hisouten. But
Obviously.
okay. So this is unfortunately this is the thing with like that gets to a lot of people. It's not really just the block string starter. It's well, of course, the block string starter as Okizeme because Okizeme is hard in this game, but I think it's like the middle part of strings where like stuff really gets hard with Aya pressure because you have to decide on like where to stagger because I think as a general rule, if you start staggering a bit too much on the beginning of your block string, then people are going to start pressing buttons. So once you go past like the third stagger, so let's say you're doing 2A AA and you walk forward and do 2A AA, if you do that one more time, the person is going to get 8s and they're just going to press like 5A and they're not going to get hell about about respect and everything. And this is kind of obvious because what you're doing isn't actually like unmatchable, unless even if you like stagger, even if you don't stagger, I mean 2A into 6A, there are some characters who like just mash you out. 2A 3A, I think. Oku 4A is that. 2A 6A. I'm not sure if someone can mash that. Can they mash that?
Not. I mean, I don't think even right block you can do that. Even if you have a 7-framer, you need to. It's kind of a frame trap at that point. If 90% you're going to probably get it. 99.9%. Pretty sure it's a frame trap.
They can trade off 2A and 6A, can they?
Damn, really?
Damn.
Oh yeah, it's true. If I completely forgot. Yeah, if you have a 7-frame and you like to be risky, you can actually mesh the 2A 6A out. Yeah, I forgot. On right.
Yeah. I feel like whenever people know this, they start going full Harambe, right? And they just like, okay, I'm just gonna try to get this little gap on here. So like the Aya has to start 2A and slowly, right? To get this mash that they're probably eventually going to do, and doing that 2A slowly, even though it would catch the mash, it also encourages people to keep mashing because it makes them feel like the 2A isn't actually unmashable. So really, like you never get to force your opponent to fully block unless you're like doing unless you play 2A in fully airtight 2A and like you wait out of a 5A range because like I use 2A is pretty far, right? So like if you space out of jab, then I think 6A would beat like most jabs and everything, and 3A just beats a lot of jabs just because like she's not actually. People don't actually reach that far with the jab. So like, right, eventually you just start feeling like you can't make people block no matter what, right? So I think staggering with Aya is a lot about just catching match basically, which kind of annoys Splinter, and it annoys me too sometimes because you can't really create a lot of cool crushes with this. So like my only way of really creating crushes is like getting quick ROM blocks, and then into a 6C 236 situation, which is like crusher. Oh, I don't know what to call them. I guess 2-orb crusher strings is what I call them. Where like you have a character that does 2 bullets back to back that are airtight really quickly, and I think this is really important because like since you're not you can't really spend a lot of time staggering all the time. You're going to have to use these 2 bullets in order to make people feel like they're losing orbs fast, and since it kind of tells them that your block string can't really be mashed, then they're kind of forced to be. So I feel like in the beginning when people have 5 orbs, you have to because you're not really going to get enough ROM blocks to actually crush people with ROM blocks and then 6C 236. You're going to have to force them to border escape the first block string that they block, which is like assuming it's like when they have 5 orbs. So once they actually border escape the first orb out, then you get into like you gotta chase in the air, and you can either make them respect the J8A and the J5A and pull them down, or go into a block string in the air. But yeah, like this gets really too deep, and I would be talking for like hella hours if if I had to explain to you how to do this. But
yeah,
basically, like after they border escape the first orb down, assuming you put them back on the ground, or assuming they even go back to neutral, and they either go back to neutral, or even if you caught the actual border escape, right? The first orb actually takes quite a bit to recover in Soku, so you're going to there is a high possibility, there's a good enough possibility for Aya to get in that ass before people recover that first orb. And take into account that Aya is also hella fast, right? So if you're that kind of player, as soon as they border escape out, even if you don't have like advantage or anything, like you can still go in and try to get in people's faces. And when they have 4 orbs, that's when stuff gets really serious, because you only really need 2 ROM blocks and 66236 in order to open people up. So I think this is where staggers get really good, because sure you can I still don't trust 2A to make people block. I really don't see 2A staggers really making people block. I think this is good for like catching match, if anything. So I usually just do 2A to get into a good range for like F5A, right? To mix up with F5A, to make people think that I'm gonna press 2A and F5A instead, and that gets a 1 ROM block. I'm assuming that F5A gets 1 ROM block. Now you get to cancel into 6-6, into 6A or 2-3-6, and depending on like how people block it, if they right block it, you still get to do like I'm not sure if for example a right block into 6-6 2-3-6 is tight. Let me see. Okay, it is tight, right? Yeah, it is tight. Right block normals and right block command normals into 6-6 should be tight. Up close, anyways. But if they only ROM blocked 6-6, what about 3A? Because I just saw 3A like getting blocked by the computer. Like. Yeah, like even at F5A range, if you do like F5A, 3A, 6E, it's still airtight. But okay, like even if they do block that, you do 6-6, 2-3-6, and you put them at 2 orbs, and you put them at 1 orb actually, even though you only had 1 ROM block. Now this is the part where a lot of people tend to like I get scared, right? Because oh crap, I have 1 orb, I have to get out of this block string, or else I'm getting my ass crushed. So usually people border escape this out, right? And then now they're down to 3 orbs. So if you got the good chases, or if you actually caught the border escape, because you're a Chad like Splinter, right? Because you don't chase border escapes, right? Splinter, you catch them. But like either way, if you catch the border escape, then you do Okizeme, and they're down 2 orbs, right? So now you only really need one ROM block. So this is like, I think when it's at 3 orbs, you really have quite a lot of chances to actually crush people, because right, they ROM block once, and they ROM block once, and you do 6-6, 2-3-6, and they're sort of just forced to border escape that, right? Or else they're crushed, because that's 3 orbs immediately. And now they're down at 2 orbs if they border escape. But if they don't border escape, they're crushed. So now they're down at 2 orbs, and if you chase correctly, you get to do an air string, which air strings I'm pretty sure can do 2 orbs with the right. I think. Let me test it. If I just put
each melee hit in the air is 0.5, no matter the kind of
yeah.
But bullets still retain the same kind of damage.
Right.
While you're slowing down here, I'll take this moment to move it a bit in another zone. Like you're talking about pressure, but I feel like you're talking about pressure without even mentioning the fact that Aya has the greatest spell card set to do pressure.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot.
And I think it's okay to mention
I mean, it's cool that he's talking about all the default normal without tools to do pressure.
Completely
really
meterless.
Yeah, it's actually really important, but I feel like considering it's Aya, you have to go through the spell card. It's super important. So
yeah. Now that I think about it, it feels like it makes you realize, okay, you I think the first orb though this doesn't really change even with meter. You like, even if they have 5 orbs, even if you have 3-card tornado, that's 3-card tornado still has a mix up spot here and there with the border escape. So eventually with 3-card, all you're doing at 5 orbs is out. At the very least, you're just forcing a border escape, really. So I think that first orb still has to be taken out, right? Either through spell cards or through normal pressure. Now, once they're down to 4 orbs, now you have the 3-card, which actually becomes really dangerous, right? Because 4 orbs, and then you only need 1 round block and a bullet, and then the tornado that crushes, that forces, and you can chase definitely, or you can actually catch, or that if they don't border escape, that they're immediately crushed from like 4 orbs, right? And that's pretty balls. And let's say they actually do guess right? And they border escape their 2nd orb. Now this Aya player, his chat end actually took care of his meter pretty well, saved up his meter up to 5. So I'm guessing, after using that tornado, you border escape that, you have 2 orbs, right? So you only need 1 orb to get potentially. So you got to pull out your RNG game right here, right? We're playing half a card game here, and that's what the godlike part about Soka to me is, because it would be fucking boring if every time I border escaped Aya, she's like, oh, alright, I'm just gonna build another tornado, and it just be dumb shit. But I like to be hoping that she rolls she rolls the wrong card, and she doesn't get 3-card tornado. But when she does, like, it's cool for her, right? Because okay, I can just use this 2nd tornado that I just built because I needed only 1 card to build up to 3 cards. And with that tornado, now they border escape 2 orbs, so now they have 3 orbs. With that tornado, all you really need is 1 bullet into tornado to force people to border escape, or else they're crushed. If you really just want to avoid like having to deal with this border escape madness, then all you really need is a ROM block into the tornado, 1 ROM block into a bullet into tornado, and that auto crushes no matter what, and that and that's when I feel like you're getting into fighting in territory with, like, you have to fucking you get these 50-50s where it's either you get crushed, you get hit. Basically, because getting crushed is essentially just fucking getting hit.
What? No, wait. wait, whoa. Where are you going, boy?
but basically, it means danger either way. Like,
I guess.
So when the opponent has 3 orbs, then your 3-card tornado, depending on how you really want to go about it, you can either force a border escape, a save block string into a border escape, or you can decide to get 1 ROM block and then get a guaranteed guard break, which would put people down at 2 orbs now. And now if you can't crush with Aya at 2 orbs, and I don't know what to tell you. I think this is not the game for you if you can't. Because when people have 2 orbs, all you really need to do, assuming that you knock them down, right, or you put them into a block string, you don't even have to make them right block anything. If people have 2 orbs, all you have to make them do is fear a melee, right? All you have to do is make them fear a melee. And this is when you do 6-6-2-6, or if you're ballsy enough, you have huge testicles, you do charge J5C, and that's 2 orbs immediately, right? But regardless, the important thing to note here is that all you really need is to make them fear that a melee is coming. and if you sense that they think it's the bullet that's actually coming, you just put them in a block string anyways. And for example 2A, right? And now they're blocking 2A, and it doesn't have to be like staggered, because you remember staggering just makes people fucking want to match more. So you start doing airtight 2As. There you go. If you really want to stagger, fine. But technically, like, all you have to do from the 2A is just make people fear melee again. It's not if you really want to a ROM block into a bullet, that's fine too. But like, remember that I think the best tool that you have here is just making people think that they're going to see a melee when in fact they see a bullet, right? And once you do 66236, they're forced to border escape immediately. Which is just as a warning, people aren't actually reacting to these bullets and border escaping them. If they're down at 2 orbs, they would actually just border escape a melee. So if you do a 6A, they'll probably just border escape. They're probably just gonna border escape that 6A. Or if you do a 3A, they're gonna border escape that 3A. And even if you're just doing 2A, some retard is going to border escape the 2A anyway, right? Because,
who does that?
some people, right? When people are down to 2 orbs, they get hella fired up, right? They're excited. They're like, I can't. This game has no defense options. Fuck, what happened? I'm gonna go back to EFZ. But
okay. Jesus Christ, while we are here. In pressure, I think we can move to Okizeme with a really simple card. Aya has a 4-card spell card that can be used both for a lot of things, but mostly pressure, but also Okizeme. So, can we move from one to another? Can you do that?
Wait, what did you say?
So I said. You know that Aya has a 4-card spell card
the
rocks.
4-card rocks, yeah.
And can be used both for pressure and Okizeme. So can we move from one to the other, like, through that?
What do you mean, move from what to what?
Like pressure to Okizeme.
From pressure to Okizeme.
Those spell cards.
I think both are connected after all. Once you crash, you go into Okizeme in a way. No?
Well, the 4-card, this 4-card tornado. No, this 4-card rocks. Whenever I think of it, in my mind just pops the words hopes and dreams, right? Because that's really mostly what it is, just hopes and dreams that you get something started with this 4-card. All right, I don't know if people like that. I'm putting this 4-card down. I don't like this 4-card too much because maybe it's just because I don't see it get a lot of profit. But maybe if people were good, or no, maybe if their pressure was really amazing, with this 4-card, they would turn their hopes and dreams into reality, right? Which is to actually get a crush from this 4-card. This heavy cost card, it feels like pushes the opponent into a corner, and they just like fly up into the sky, and you can't see your hopes and dreams anymore because it's above the fucking health bar. But technically, like, I think it's best used for like Okizeme because the neutral, it's a little shaky. I think the best you can do is like hope people block like a rock, and then you hit them with the Jaded A, right? And they're like so scared that they border escape out, and you force the border escape, or you force 2 border escapes, right? That's the limit of your hopes and dreams. But if you do it on Okizeme, at least on the good part about this 4-card is that the good part about this 4-card is when Aya realizes that she's fucked because she has no orbs, or and you want to be half an Iku, because this is what Iku does all the time when she feels threatened. She just like pulls out the veil and say, I'm just gonna recover all my orbs. Aya does something like this, except she can't just pull that ass shit on like fucking pressure, right? She needs some space, which is kind of easy because her back dash is pretty dumb, and Aya can also play a runaway game, which is kind of annoying. With 4-card, you use that when you have low orbs or something like that, right? And you get to recover all your orbs, and also get like some hopes and dream pressure on the side. But what's important is that you covered your orbs, right? So that's the aspect of the 4 card, which I think is pretty good too. But on Okizeme, right? As I was mentioning, this is where the card, like, I think it's really dumb. If it's still 5 orbs, I don't think it's very worth it. I think at best you maybe get like 2 orbs. Yeah, 2 orbs maybe. 3 orbs that you really have to be facing some scrub. But when they have 4 orbs, like this is when you realize that, you know, staggers get a little stronger, right? Because sure, you're doing unsafe melee staggers, but you also got the rock RNG coming through, right? And well, sometimes like you can't really help it because the fucking your friend didn't come, right? And the nigga mashes you, and you get sent back, and the rocks just don't hit the opponent. And you get mad as Aya because, oh, what the hell, these rocks aren't doing jack shit. But like sometimes they do their work, right? Sometimes they do what they're supposed to do and support your block strings in a way. And from 4 orbs, this can actually be very threatening because I feel like it can do like it can force 2 orbs, or it can actually just create like crush opportunity. Assuming that, you know, you get like 2 enough ROM blocks, 2 ROM blocks, right? Because because you know it's easier to get ROM blocks when your shit is RNG safe. So you know you get 2 ROM blocks down, and you get 66236, and maybe some pebble just comes along and hits you know when they have 0 orbs, and boom, you know it's a ROM block. Well, actually, before I get my ass blasted on this, rocks do orb damage, right? The 4 card rocks. Okay, yeah. If they didn't do orb damage, this would be so terrible. But thank God that they do orbs damage, you know, and that means that, you know, if they're at 0 orbs and just like a pebble comes along and scrapes their knees, that's a crush right there. There you go. So this is Okizeme 4 card rocks at 4 orbs. At 3 orbs, it's essentially the same, except, you know, it's a lot easier to get crushes. So this is when I think, yeah.
What about Okizeme in general? Like, yeah, I guess this card is kind of just a way to win neutral in a sense. But what about Okizeme in general as Aya?
Well, with the 4 card?
No, in general, just Okizeme.
I mean, like you mentioned, the J5A is the optimal.
Do you just follow? There's something specific to Aya?
Well, you can't just follow. That's the thing. Unfortunately, this is like the part where I think the Aya's flight is fast, right? It's like, is it faster than other characters? I feel like it is.
I don't know actually.
I'm gonna check this shit. Fuck it.
I mean, maybe it is.
Maybe it is. But
maybe it is.
Maybe it's just my illusion or something. Flight speed, right? I'm gonna check Aristo's thing.
Oh,
all right. No, it's just 12. It's the same as your normie character.
Yeah, she's not that fast. She's decently fast.
Well, okay. Even still, like, the thing with Aya is, I think when you just try to just react to people waking up on spot, you end up going over them sometimes, over the short characters, and this is a problem that I had with a certain person's Okizeme on Racing, that they try to just follow the tech with J5A, and they went over Racing because, you know, her tech is so short. So even though Aya's Okizeme is a little simpler, I wouldn't say it's the same as Yomu, but it's the same in the sense that you have to be in the right position to get Okizeme. If you don't want to go over people, or, you know, you don't want to get mashed, because essentially with some characters, you're not actually just winning in terms of frame data speed. You're winning in terms of your J5A being long as hell. So let's say you're Okizeme Patchouli, even though she might get a 4A out, like your J5A just outranges it and gets that hit. So it's all about if I had to explain every single spacing of how to Okizeme with Aya, it would be super dumb. But if you're going to do it with that J5A, then you have to always you have to be in the right spacing. You have to position yourself at a certain distance from the character on the corner, and then fly into the neutral tech, and then react if the person out techs. But this is actually just assuming that you get like a J6C ender on the air or something, or an ender that actually gives you enough time to get into the position, right? Because if you end with like something that's heavy, for example, let's say J6A. I think J6A is an ender that really puts Aya in a tight situation, because this 6-6A kind of just like lasts a long time if you don't cancel it. If you cancel into a bullet, you end up wasting spirit, and you have to go back to the right position. So if you're a good Aya main, you end your combos with like 6C and stuff, maybe 2 through 6, but I think that still doesn't give you enough time to position yourself sometime. Or if you end with J-A as well. I'm not sure if there's a lot of J-A enders, but yeah, this is all assuming that you want to go for J5A Okizeme, as my helper here said. You can you can also use 2B for Okizeme, right? Which is like this boomerang on the ground. Which, as simple as it may look, for some reason, in 2012, every time people used it, that shit never worked, and the tornado would just like the tornado would essentially not do anything.
Wow.
The little air boomerang. So I'm pretty sure Splinter has like setups for this little boomerang over here. I don't actually just I don't really use this very often. I use it sometimes because I already know like the speed for most characters wake up, but essentially with the 2B is like the only thing I know about the 2B is that if it comes back, if the opponent takes out of the corner and the 2B hits behind them, your J5A hit before the 2B, and it kind of allows you to do J5A dash up and 2A safely, right? Because the 2B provided some extra block stun. So that's like one of the uses I know about 2B. There was some ridiculous Aya video as well where there was a cross up with 2B, which is technically the same as as adding support to the J5A hit stun for the 2B to come in, and then you actually get a combo off of that. So if you want to learn this 2B in depth, you're gonna have to study a little bit and lab it out. Because even though it's only 0.5 orbs, you gotta remember that with this extra hit stun or this extra block stun you have, you can create situation. You can create cross ups. You can create unmatchable little reset strings. So it's pretty good. Plus, Aya's ground movement isn't actually pretty bad. Like doing ground Okizeme with her is pretty easy. I don't use 2A a lot because 2A Okizeme is hard. I really don't use this very much. I generally just do like J5A up to the ground, or if an opponent takes out, I try to chase up with 6-6A, right? Or try to chase up and just mostly 6-6A or 5A. I'm scared with 2A sometimes because I feel like people just high jump it. If you can Okizeme with 2A, good for you. Because the boomerang can also help you, with the 2A, if you don't time it right, the boomerang just comes in and hits the opponent. But I think you don't always have to Okizeme with J5A. You can also like dash up and do melee with Aya as well. And I use sometimes you don't want to let the opponent tech out of the corner. So you can do a mid string block string. You like Aya's mid string block strings are very good, right? So and you can't really use a lot of spell cards in the mid screen either, besides the 2-card tornado. Your 3-card tornado doesn't work unless it's combo mid screen, and 1-card wind sickle, I don't know what to call it, doesn't work.
The sickle, yeah, windville.
So eventually, if you're not going to get like 100% Okizeme, if you know the opponent is going to tech out of the corner, from the ground spot you can high jump backward and make them block J5A, or you can do this sick backdash that I like to do. I don't know if it's optimal, but I personally like to do backdash to chase out the owl tech. It kind of reaches very far, so once I backdash, I just put people back in the corner. And and that's essentially like how Okizeme comes down to it.
I see. I guess at this point we talk how Aya should, get the opponent into a bad spot. But what if Aya gets into a bad spot? How does she defend? Or does she block?
She's the chicken of Soku. She doesn't.
Tell me about it.
All right. I don't think I run defense cards on Aya. However, I think this is just a matter of the people I'm playing with, because I think she can still be stringed with like characters with strong block strings. So essentially, you're going to have to run defense cards in the end. If the top Remilia players use defense cards, I have no idea why Aya would be an exception.
Understandable.
So fine, if you just want to be a chat and not run defense cards, at least with Aya, you still have you have a pretty good backdash, which aids only mid screen in the corner is kind of derp, but mid screen this backdash is pretty good at dodging things. I think Splinter once mentioned that, like, or someone just once mentioned that this backdash has quite some recovery. I don't remember, but regardless of the recovery, I think like with this, or maybe it's just the fact that it doesn't have a lot of invul frames. Regardless of that, I think it travels a pretty good distance, and I feel like it recovers pretty quickly. So you can actually escape some block string with this, and then you got Aya's fast high jump J5A. Most of the time you can't really create like a reverse. You can't really reverse momentum from the backdash, but you can get out of some block string with this. Her crouch, I don't think it's very good.
No, she's actually a tall character standing, and crouching she's not really that small.
She's not gonna low profile anything.
No, not much at least.
I see. So the crouching doesn't have notable advantages like certain characters, because in Soku, even tall characters can have short, fucking crouches apparently. like Yuyuko.
I think maybe R3A is kinda low, so that may be able to low profile stuff, but her basic crouching animation is kinda tallish.
Yeah. So yeah, in general, I don't know about her walk speed. It feels fast from what I'm testing out in practice mode. Is it fast? Relatively?
She's pretty good if you ask me. Like, she's not super fast like Mei Ling, but she's moderately fast.
Yeah. This walk combined with the coin usage creates the Ionator. The Ionator, right? Where
obviously, I see.
This nigga just he lost all passion for pressure, and he's now an Aya coiner. Just walks back and mashes coin.
Obviously, I see.
But he does it really well. Walk back and coin with Aya is a pretty good technique. Coin in general is a good normal. Aya's walk speed and also her general J5A and stuff, high jump J5A, with coin, and coin J5A as well. Coin border escape, I mean. She does get free escapes out mid screen sometimes. So mid screen, I think, even if you don't have coin, it's kind of easier. It's kind of easy to escape. Because of your dash, with your back dash and your walk speed. If you do have coin though, it's really hard for the opponent to really start anything mid screen against Aya. Now in the corner, she's not really very notable. Now she does have one weakness though. Her height actually makes her vulnerable to a lot of what do you call them again? Tiger knees? No. Fuzzy boxing.
Fuzzy guns. Okay, the fuzzies. Yeah.
Yeah. And in Aya Mirror, even though Aya can escape Aya herself. She can escape herself pretty easily. But the thing she can do is, sometimes border escape out of this dumbass bullets because, her tall hitbox gets her hit by J5A, high jump J5A. Aya's high jump J5A, which also is good diagonally. So if Aya's standing up, she gets hit by that J5A and she can border escape that shore, but you know, you have no recovery on this move. So eventually you're just gonna fly up and put the Aya whole border escape into a block string anyway. But you know, it's not even just Aya, like Raisin as well, 5B, high jump, J5A. This also makes Aya block. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure Yomu can also do her silly 2B high jump J5A thing into J2A or something like that, right?
Probably. You can fuzzy guard Aya.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool.
You have quite a few ways to fuzzy guard Aya. So
Yes.
so that's one of her weaknesses. I don't think her border escape is. I don't think her high jump, her border escape height is very special. It feels normal. But you know, it like even though her high jump height. Her height isn't very special from border escape. I feel like her J5A is really good and fast enough to hit people out of air strings sometimes, poke people in the face when they're trying to do their sick air strings, which most of them are minus by the way. But you know, air creates a lot of like weird situations where like it depends more on where the opponent is rather than frame advantage. So sometimes Aya when she's in air strings, she can poke out a J5A and it would hit an opponent. And I actually got like hit out of my air strings out of her doing like you know when you make someone border escape and then they respect you and start falling down into the ground. Like as soon as you start falling down into the ground, you can do J8A, right? And this sends people all the way to the other side of the screen. So I think her air normals are good for poking, right? In the air. Another thing that I think is good about Aya is that I don't find her border escape. I don't know if her border escape is very special, but this is like the problem that people get with like people with Aya chicken blocking and then J6 being hella fast. You know, if you got the BlazeDragon Bs, you can actually get a block things pretty easily this way. Chicken block and J6B with Aya, and most of the time it's a free escape unless people really space that correctly. So Aya chicken blocking is sort of a problem, because of her J6B and stuff. Let's see. Sometimes, sometimes there are certain block strings where like people expect a border escape, and they crouch because the other person is going to respect the chase, and they fall into the ground. Sometimes some characters like Raisin or Yuyiko can actually avoid most J5As, but Aya's J5A is just so big that it kind of beats this border escape in waiting the ground as you fall. But that's like that's really all the things that I think Aya has in terms of defense.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think you went pretty much over everything important. We came far. Let's see what else. Well, we're kind of close to the end. Let's go through what I think is still important before moving to, maybe matchups or whatever. So we talk about the buttons in neutral. We talk about the buttons in Okizeme and pressure. I think we should probably talk about the skill cards and the spell cards and everything that she has. I don't feel like we talk about those much, especially skill cards.
Yeah, what are the viable ones that you think people could bring?
Oh, this is where I get really hyped up. You're watching, right, Splinter? Yeah, Splinter's watching, right?
This is gonna be hilarious.
What's your opinion, Blaze?
So the first skill card I want to mention right here, the OD is Tengu Felling. I'm kidding.
Okay, so I've seen you guys talk about this Tengu Felling. What's the name? Actually, Tengu Felling?
Tengu Felling.
Tengu Felling. Yeah. Okay. What about it? It's a cross-up, right?
I don't know if I should get basically the division I have with certain. I think Roku agrees with me. Roku Senpai. I think he agrees with me, but either you believe that it's not fast enough to.
Okay, what?
It's Trickster Devil.
One person after the other. What does it do? First, what does it do?
It teleports behind you and hits you.
Okay. So it's basically Trickster's Devil. How fast is this?
I don't know, but it hits people more than Trickster Devil does, so I'm pretty sure it's faster.
Let me check. And obviously the wiki has no any frame data. God damn it.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Why the Aya wiki is so empty? Fine. Okay, so Tengu Feeling is basically a cross-up.
I believe the same people you do.
It's like
Tell me more about this.
Well, let's see. Assuming you get the hit, right? You don't combo with anything.
Don't you have? I'm pretty sure this skill can synergize with a specific spec and the one.
Well,
that
actually, I think the crowds combo into it, right, Splinter? I don't know. I think
I think the crowds combo into this, and probably also the domination dash spell cut.
No, I don't think with the 2-card because like I think Aya's facing backwards when she hits with the Tengu Felling, right? So if you were to do the 3-card tornado, you would actually just like go right in front, and the opponent would still be behind you. So okay. In a world, imagine Splinter that in a world with like people don't actually block it, right? It's unreactable in quotation, right? Like I think what would combo into it would be like the crowds, I think, because I don't think anything else would combo. I don't think so anyway. I use the Sonic spell card, you know, the one where she gets full of fast and speed sometimes. Yeah, and just J44 if people block the cross up, right? Because you know it's a bullet, but people block it because it's a Chad bullet, right? Obviously. So with the little speed thing, you know, you J66 out of into a different world. But all right, but this is all assuming you know that people block it. If people just grace it, you know, like Splinter says, because everyone has 100 MS reactions like Splinter. Then you know it's bad.
There goes your pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so does it work in corner?
No, it doesn't work in the corner. It works in the air though.
Okay. In the air, in the corner, or just in the air mid-screen?
No. It works. It needs to be out of the corner first of all.
Okay, I see.
And then it works in the air as well.
Okay. So
what a great skill.
So basically, it's a cross up. It's a cross up.
Yeah, it's a grazable cross up.
Yeah,
I see.
It's a better Trickster Devil.
I see. Why we talk about Tengu Pebbles? I mean, we already here.
Yeah.
So Tengu Pebbles. Do you know anything about this skill card?
Let's see. I know you place the rocks right with the V version, and then you throw them out with the C version. Am I right?
Exactly.
Am I right with that? Okay, so I got the fundamental part of that skill down.
You can actually drop
It ROM blocks, right? It ROM blocks, right?
Oh yeah. It's a ROM blockable bullet. It hits Ig.
Nice, it hits high, so you can create unright blockable situations. Right? Yay!
That sounds so strong.
Yeah. You can also drop the rocks in the air by using B instead of C. Like in the air, you can do both. It doesn't matter. C and B works the same. It's only on the ground that you need to do B and C.
In terms of, I feel like I've seen Auric run this card. Because back in 2013, when Auric fell to Chad to play seriously, he would run pretty much anything with Aya just to get higher chances of losing. So he would run Plebbles. I think I've seen like I guess you can. I think the best use of the Pebbles is like yeah, you have the ability to make really cool combo videos.
Come on, you can make an unright blockable.
Yeah, it doesn't do a lot of spirit damage, does it?
Depends. It goes from 0.1 to 2 orbs, I think.
I mean, yeah, you can charge the amount of pebbles.
Like sometimes even with one charge, it does like 0.5. Some other times it does even 1 orb. Then other RNG times you get 2 orbs out of nowhere. It's kind of random, you know. If that wasn't enough, it's kind of RNG.
Does it summon anywhere you throw out the C version? Like
Yes.
It doesn't have, okay.
Yeah, it drops on the opponent, like anywhere on the screen.
Okay, so that's not too bad, I guess. It's not too bad. It's better than the crowds, I guess.
Oh yeah, the crowd. Let's move on to the crowd. It's a default skill that I really not like hate, but it really bothers me that the crowds are entities that do no speed damage. So it's a bullet, but it doesn't, actually does any damage.
So it's not a bullet.
Cruise.
It's
The
just
crows.
It's just nothing. No, it's a shadow, right? Because they're black.
What? No, it's not even. It's a bullet entity like Mion.
I get, but Mion does spirit damage.
Because Mion is good.
Just think about it, right? A bullet entity, right? These bullets are made of magic, right? And it does no magic damage. So is it really a bullet if it does no magic damage,
don't
aka
know.
or damage?
That's
That's the lower part, right? That's the lower part.
no, that's fantastical races. Doesn't count. So anyway, instead of being memes, so what do you run on your Aya? What kind of skill you run? Do you run default? Do you use alts? So
I vary with 3 decks, right? When it comes to
Okay.
Aya, usually I play the normal Aya deck because I feel like whenever I play Aya, I feel like, oh damn, this is the day where I just wanna crush people. I just wanna 5-or crush people. I just wanna make Morphin go back to EFZ. That's when I use the regular. That's when I use the regular Aya deck, which is like it varies into. I think I do level up the C36 just because it creates the field on the ground, so it gets this good it creates this good little spread on the ground, which is good for dominating the ground, I guess, when you're in the air. That 236 is also kind of dumb for like beating out Jaded Ace and stuff sometimes, but there's not a whole lot. I mean, I think with the default Aya deck, it's like the most important part is the most important part is leveling up the 2 and 4 domination dash, right? Because if it's just level 0, then it's just a cock skill card. It doesn't actually do much. You do need that one. You need at least level 1 so it can catch border escapes of 6A, I think. So I think that's something, at least one of the. Well, some people don't actually agree that you should run 1 skill card on your deck, but I feel like at least in that situation it's fair. If you don't have enough space, if you want to put like a lot of skill cards, a lot of sport cards and everything, and system cards. There you go. But it's important that you do level up the tornado, I think. Otherwise, it's kind of just wasted space. Honestly, sometimes I guess it works as sometimes it works as a frame trap. But then like the border escape, the ability to catch border escapes, I think is just too good to give up. If you don't want to like level up the tornado though, because you feel like running Tengu Drum, I think Tengu Drum is also part of the regular Aya deck. Since it creates a good it ends air blockings pretty good, and it creates a few airstring crush enders, right? Where like
Kinda,
it's
yeah.
like it creates guaranteed orb damage situations with like Tengu Drum, right? And plus, you also get like a few cross ups with Tengu Drum, and you get to annoy people with Tengu Drum sometimes. Full screen. I don't know if it can work as a border escape catch, because I actually haven't used that thing in probably ever actually. So most of what I know is just from watching other IS use it. But just from the things that I've said, it's good enough to be like in a default deck, and plus it also comes from 3-card tornado, so it creates a decent ender right there. When you level it up, it creates extra follow-ups, the bullet follow-up and stuff, and that makes your stuff safer. It's a skill card that took one whole Italian uploading a video so people can actually learn how to punish it.
It wasn't a video. I just made a notepad that yes, as pretty much every kind of punish you can make to the this kind of card.
Yeah. So it took one Italian to teach people that this thing is actually sort of punishable. So you can guess that it's not too easy. And let's see, any other card that I think deserves to be on default on the default thing. Let's see. No, I don't think any other skill card deserves to be default stuff. Leveling up 236. So there's leveling up 236. There's leveling up the tornado, and there's what is it? The Tengu drum. Apart from that, I don't feel like everything else can be called default Aya decks.
I see. Is there any alt you like to use or like, present or something?
I think. Well, default you get to use without just for not using Tengu drum. I use it sometimes too. But it's kind of not very used. I don't see it very used anyway. The default to 2. It's just used because it's there. But as far as leveling goes, not a lot of usage there. Downburst is the popular 2-1-4. The popular 2-2 alternate, which is kind of cool because you get to create some strings with it. It started with J5A, I think. The strings that you can do with it, and let's see, you can create some combos with it as well. So in the air, if you're close enough to the opponent and you finish a combo with like I think J6A or something. Yeah, it's also tied into one card, like Swinter said. It's tied into. Let's see, it should be tied into 3 card, 1 card, and 2 card, right? So it creates, yeah. So apart from that, it creates good combos, which I don't know if they do more damage. I think it does more damage. So yeah, and like when you level it up, right, the 2-2C version starts throwing out hella bullets from into, and then they start spreading out into the ground. I don't know how good is that, but whenever I use that card, I tend to like spam 2-2C sometime and see those waves just kind of travel in. I guess you can go in like that.
How many of these would you bring? Like, would you want to level that up?
I would level it up. Oh, they don't create much damage. Rip. Okay, so it's not the best for combos, I guess. Well, the ability to create some pressure, some spell card strings with it, and because it's actually a good downward kick, dive kick. Can it be called a dive kick? You're the.
I suppose it is.
It looks like her J2A. It's just kind of different.
It's just not as good as a dive kick should be, but it's basically a dive kick.
Yeah, it's not very minus either. So I think it's better than J2A at least. So it has a few weather gimmicks here and there, but it's better than J2A, and I feel like it with the 2-2C version, even if you don't hit the right place when they're down below you, you can still create a few bullets. So it's a good thing to go from the air to the ground, So I would bring like 3. I don't really have a mathematical reason for that. I just feel like 2 is too little, and 4, it's not too life-threatening for me to use it. So 3 is the number way it's set it. Oh, did my thing cut?
Oh, I don't know where Genki went. Is that like we covered almost all the skills? Is that all you want to cover?
Well, this is apart from these alternates. You also have the bullet alternate. I'll go into it. I just it's hard to combo off the 2-3-6 alternate. I only know the one that splits in 3. I don't know what the other one is. Is there another 2-3-6?
So there's the gust fan default. There's that gale fan with the 3.
Oh, the tornado, right?
There's the wind from the maple fan. Yeah.
That one's good for combos, I guess, but like people don't usually use it. I wonder if there's like some special combos that you can create. I don't know, but that one is the combos one. The one that splits in 3 is the one that's usually used when Ayas want to feel like they have a skill card that counters bullets and stuff. So this. I think there was some IS as well that used that thing for like Suaku matchup. I don't remember too well, but I just know that it's supposed to enhance your neutral bullet usage by a bit. The unfortunate part is that it's hard to combo from that thing. As far as 2 and 4 goes, you have the what Genki called the Rekka tornado. I guess I don't.
I guess let's go with that.
Yeah. It combos into itself, right? So I don't know. Maybe I don't know too much about that tornado, but it looks cool. So if you want to use it, go ahead, because it looks cool and it combos into itself. Let's see, any other 2 and 4?
We kind of went through almost everything.
Yeah, that's about all.
Like we're probably missing out. So the shield, the
shield, the Ionator, right?
the Met Tornado, and the Gale Fan, which is the slow bullets, and I think that's it.
No, the Gale Fan.
He talked about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got distracted.
The Ionator, though, I didn't talk about that. Well, Genki, when you fought Ionator with Aya with Yomo, right? Versus
Yes.
that skill card. What do you think about the skill card?
So I think the shield. I think the shield isn't too bad, but it probably depends heavily on the matchup. I don't know if the move has like a specific kind of density. Actually, I want to check actually, because I feel like the move may have a specific density and it's probably good in certain specific matchups. But outside of that, it's meh. It's basically a single bullet around Aya, and
Oh, it's a single bullet.
yeah, it's a single bullet around Aya, and it's pretty fast on startup. So it's not like once you lose it, it's too hard to actually reactivate it. It's super fast. Let me see. Whimsical Veiling. It's a it doesn't have density.
It's similar to her one spell card, but
It doesn't say if it has a density, but okay.
it doesn't block incoming bullets.
No, I mean, I actually don't know.
It doesn't interact apparently.
It doesn't interact. Oh, okay, I see. So it's basically a melee shield around Aya. So you use it probably to get into people, and people can't J5A you. So it's basically a defensive tool, I suppose. So I would say it's not
So
bad.
throwing bullets at it doesn't work, doesn't it? It only protects from like bullets that have melee additives or hitbox additives. Like
Yeah, the shield is a bullet itself, but it
Yes.
doesn't interact with other bullets.
so it would only interact with like the half ghost, the little neon,
It's
right?
it's basically something you will use to move forward without fearing that the opponent is going to jump on you, because you have a shield around, so they can't jump on you in J5A.
Yeah. Yeah, this sounds too good, except for the fact that it doesn't last too long. So
Yes.
it's technically it feels like an NT almost.
I won't be surprised.
Anti
honestly.
J5A.
That sounds like something that would have been used against me.
Yeah. So, more specifically, it would be something very effective versus Popo, because Genki is too much of a renaissance man to just J5A all the time.
Nah, I love to. I cut through stuff by slashing through the air and shooting green stuff. That's
Yeah.
you must have blanked clearly. Anyway, so I guess we went through almost everything. We are missing probably only the.
Oh, I forgot something. This is the thing.
tornado.
No, this is something that Splinter wanted me to talk about. Unless that if I don't talk about, I'm bad. Apparently, Aya has a special TK property. She's probably one of the best characters for TKing. I think. With the default 236. Oh shit! I don't have Aya on my fucking training mode right now. So basically, with the 236, right? If you input the tiger knee motion correctly, you can create some good knit screen strings like that, which are still like chicken blockable after your 236, because the cancel into G66 for this thing isn't very fast. But even if they chicken block it, it's still pretty good, because you can still follow that and stuff. and it's the same thing on the corner, except it doesn't. This. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing in the corner. They get the chicken block, but it's still. I think it's still unmashable. I think, right? I don't think you can mash after. You can mash J6, J5A after a TK236, and I think it's best use of like 2A because I can't, for some reason I'm too bad to use this of like bullets, right?
Is that so?
Yeah, I think it's just hard to TK after ground bullets, but there is one follow-up string that you can do of 6XA, which is like 6XA 236, and then on the Aya Knitter video where he showed that you can TK of 6XA 236 by just buffering the thing. It's kind of hard for me, but essentially, you get to create this because some people don't immediately jump after blocking 6XA 236 versus Aya. Some people would high jump immediately or mash even, but considering the amount of times I've done 6X 236 and then high jump J6A and people have just blocked that, I feel like people are ready to block 6X 236 TK 236 J236. So yeah, I feel like if you're going to play Aya, you probably should make good use of this 236 TK. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
I guess then we can talk about all the skill cards before moving forward to battle cards, which I think are really. I feel like we didn't mention a really simple thing about Aya. She is probably the weakest damage character in the game, right? I mean, I feel like she
output. Unless you want to. What I know about it is like, unless you want to really learn the advanced combos, then you're going to be doing like under 2k per combo.
So what do you say?
Is that true?
I think. Yeah, she has a. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has the lowest damage because even Komachi on the ground she can do 2.7 in the corner, and some J66 relands can actually do like 2.4 and stuff, which Aya only gets in her hopes and dreams. And she doesn't. I think also the part with Aya that really gives her the impression that she doesn't do a lot of damage is that the fact that she doesn't have a lot of combo skill cards. She doesn't have a lot of combo spell cards. There you go. That do damage. So like, even though I think the highest damage you can get with like in terms of spell card is like either the tornado, the 5-card tornado that doesn't do doesn't do amazing damage either, or the crowds I think have also done some damage. I think I don't know about that actually. Have you ever gotten hit by the crowds? They do decent damage, don't they?
The crows, whatever that pronunciation is, on roll they
crows, yeah,
Crows, yes.
The crews, they do around 4k. The damage is actually pretty high.
I see. The crows, I can't believe I call them that. Yeah, so like, I mean, yeah, I think her usual BMB in the air. Fuck, I gotta set. It would be like 2.3.
Are you playing?
Right?
The thing, the air damage is
2.3. It's like 2.3, yeah.
It's kind of 2.3. It's pretty weak.
There's a combo video being shown right now. It's mostly like 2.1 to 2.3.
Yeah. Splinter has
for
pretty good optimized combos, so you cannot know about this. Anyone else here, I think.
Yeah. I think the high damage with Aya, the high in quotations damage comes from like counter hit J5As. I think that's when it gets like 2.6 or something like that.
Pretty good. She definitely has some optimized combos from specific situation where she gets high damage, but again, they are specific optimized combos.
Yeah. She also has those weird. Wait, what's not true? Splinter, the counter hit add up, because the J5A counter hit obviously just adds damage. Wait, let me.
Well, it should be like really basic.
Oh no, 2.46, right?
Wow, really now?
No, but it always combos into J5B, so it's essentially just the same combo.
Hmm.
Just adds more damage. I mean, I'm doing it from the corner. Oh, the height doesn't like J5B hit regardless of the height, anyways, because it's homing, right? Yeah, this thing homes. Oh, I see what you mean. But if you use the flight, what about that? Because I'm using flight after the J5B hit. Okay.
At this point, I'm like asking myself, why isn't Splinter here?
I know.
I mean,
I just sent that in the podcast channel.
the entire episode it has been there in the Twitch chat anyway. Butting in.
He's like, well, actually, Blaze.
Actually,
Well,
Blaze.
this is the first time he's corrected me, so fuck him. All right.
I see.
All right.
I might have been busy anyway. So
Actually.
I guess now we can. I guess we figure out that the damage is pretty low, but she gains on the pressure, and she gains on pressure because she has Pelkas, which we are going to talk about right now. Okay, let's go.
Oh, these fall cards, right?
This
Well,
full card.
Didn't we talk heavily about
Kinda
the
talk
fall
about
card?
those.
We brushed over them, but only
Yes.
like
Yeah.
the pressure ones and the Oki ones.
Well, the 4 card, obviously, I think we finished that pretty well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
some
let's
things
go.
to watch for it, though. Some things to watch for it, though. It's RNG, so your combos
Oh,
are also just they're also just RNG. I was about to say gay, but all right.
We know the story, man. I mean,
Yeah.
so I guess we can start from the lowest point, which is the 1 cost card, the demonic beast shield card, which is pretty good.
Oh, the little wind sickle, right?
Yes.
Sickle
Okay.
Weasel Veiling.
Yeah. This is the 236 1 card thing. Every time I think of the 1 card, to me it's just always 236 1 card, and I get the
Yeah.
sick reset. I'm pretty sure anyone who's fought me with Aya has always had to face the 2AAA 236 1 card. But the 1 card is really good, it gives you a reset of like bullets up close, and actually even like if you have, it's a silly setup, but if you can get 1 roam block into it, I think. But I think it's character dependent, because some characters have had to be airtight or not. But most of the times it's just going to be up close bullets into 1 card. Not 5B though. 5B is no, there's no point of doing that. But 236, 6C, or even 6C 236 1 card. That's where you get like your sick pressure resets, which for a 1 card, having the ability to take out 1 orb, because you use the 236 in order to get that 1 card, so that's like 1.5, right? And then there's still some time for you to do some save staggers, right? So let's say you take out 2 orbs from the opponent. That's actually pretty good. Plus, you only use 1 card, right? So you might potentially still have like a 3 card in your hand as well, or you even might have another 1 card, right? And this is where the part where people really want to start playing EFZ, but like, but essentially what I'm saying is that this card costs so little that like you can make like. I call them block string combos, I guess, right? I don't know what else to call them. But if considering, assuming you have the right hands, like you you have the one card. You have multiple one cards, so you have one card and a 3 card. You can the one card allows you to take out the first 2 orbs or first even 1.5 orb, and even if you don't have a spell card, 2 orbs down. You only need 2 round blocks, 60 through 6. You make people border escape, or you catch them, or you fuck the border escape basically, and or you have the 3 card, right? And you add that on top of the 1 card, and you crush with that. And even if it's only, and that's only 4 cards too. So you might even potentially have like 1 card Whimsical Viewing or whatever you call that. Then you also have the 3 card Tornado, and then you also have another 1 card thing, right? And that's like, sure, that's a lot of meter usage, but I think it's worth it, honestly. If you really want to get in there, especially if you've already got some like orbs down, right?
So it's basically pressure enhancer that enhances the basic pressure, but also the spell card pressure.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, it's an enhancer of your basic pressure, but because it's a 1 cost, you can also use it to enhance your spell card base pressure.
Yeah, like because the spell card base pressure gets really strong after that first orb or even 2 orbs have been taken down. So that Whimsical Viewing really aids really well there. Like the most notable part about it, and this is the whole reasoning for why this even works, is the fact that it can come from like 2 through 6, right? It's a thing that normally would just be your string ending. 2 through 6 normally would just be your string ending or people border escaping, but none of that happens, right? Because you got the 1 card reset, and plus like oh yeah, no, I don't have anything over that, but like that 2 through 6 like reset is just so good, So yeah.
Okay. So there is also the tornado, the horizontal tornado. Sure. What about
the
it?
2 cost, the other crusher.
Wait, no, the horizontal tornado, the one that goes from left to right, right? Fuck, this is hard. Okay. This, I don't know. It does weird sphere damage, doesn't it? Because sometimes
it does 1.8.
Yeah, but like on the corner, sometimes it doesn't even do like 1 sometimes. But it's still plus regardless.
It's space dependent because of how the acts. So it's space dependent.
I don't know when it's plus or when it's minus, but I do know that even sometimes when it does less than 1 orb, it's plus. So it has the ability to I almost choked there. It has the ability to reset. Though not as good as 1 card in terms of reset, for mid screen it can be used. So that's something over the 1 card. That's something over actually even the 3 card itself. So this 2 card is really versatile. Plus like with 6xb with the 6xb into the 2 card, if it hits, it combos, right? I don't know what counter hit. I don't know. I think it goes over the 2 card. That would kind of suck. But I know that it either combos or they block it, and it's a reset. So it's a good 2 card. Yeah, and 3.7 orbs with 6 or 3A ROM blocks into 6E. Into 2 card itself, that's 3.7 orbs. It's pretty sick, man.
That's powerful for 2 cost. It's pretty damn strong.
Yeah. The weakness though that I think is just the fact that and this is the weakness with all things that have multi hits, right? It's like unless every single multi hit part since the opponent high and has enough hit stun, then if it crushes in the middle of that, and if it crushes in the middle of the card, then you don't get a lot of damage of it. You don't have a lot of
Won't they just fall back down?
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
fall back down. So sometimes, like, even if you crush with the 2 card, you get like less than 1,000 damage. Thankfully, though, it knocks down though, so you can still continue pressure from there. But yeah, this is like something that that's a weakness with like every multi-hitting spell card. Is the fact that it crushes and then you can't combo off the crush. The 3 cards in Deception, because like with the 3 card tornado, it's like even though it doesn't even though it crushes and it's multi-hit, like the tornado always combos into itself and it sends you upward, and it has good enough hit stun in order for people to just keep comboing no matter when the tornado actually crushes the opponent. So that's good, but most multi-hitting spell cards just have that weakness.
That's the other tornado though, the 3 card, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We were supposed to talk about that anyway. Yeah, that's a pretty good spell card for pressure too. It's basically like a better 2 code.
Wait, what? The 3 card?
Yeah, the 3 card is basically a better 2 code.
A better 2 card?
2 card.
Yeah, 2 card.
Yeah. Okay,
Two
okay.
coast.
Like for
Yeah.
pressure.
2 cost. Oh,
For crushing.
Yeah, my S and T were in there. Yeah, it's a better 2 coast, and it's a really overused card. Like not overused, like it's the most used.
yeah, it's really used. I would say it's different in 3 cost in the sense that not only it costs less, but you can also use it mid screen and stuff. The thing is like regardless of how you see, this card has limited use when it comes to block strings, which even though it has limited use, it's still seen a lot. So you can guess from the fact that even though it has limited spacing usage, apparently it's still used a lot, and this is because Aya is just puts people in block strings really easily. So if you space the thing correctly, it's supposed to do 2 orbs, and so mostly what you want to do off into the 3 card tornado is 6C or 6C through 236. Now I get really scared most of the times using 236. I don't actually use 236 very often when it comes to 3 card strings, because it can be border escaped, right? And if people border escape the 236, then the 3 card they're just gonna grace it and hit you, and it's gonna make you feel worthless because you just wasted 3 cards. So like,
Yeah.
it's important, I think, that you learn just how to take gambles, and just use the 6C into it. Actually, I don't know if you can react to 6C being blocked and use your 3 card. I don't know about that. I don't do it. What I usually do is just Splinter. It's not beable. Okay. It's not beable in space, but it's still beable in some parts. It all depends about when the 236 is actually being blocked on top of the 3 card, right? And you can always use 1 border escape. So still though, like from the general spacing of the 3 card being used, I don't I usually still use 6C just because it's hard. It's actually impossible to block. It's impossible to border escape 6C to 3 card, right? So usually what I do is I do like a ROM block 6C into 3 card. If you have the splinter spacing, you do 236 3 card, right? But this like before this, I usually also use this 3 card. Not really in the beginning of block string. So in the beginning, I mean like when people have 5 orbs. I use this spell card mostly when I have the first orb down or the first 2 orbs down. So this is a spell card that I like to use something like mid game where the opponent has like 1 orb down, right? Because 5 orbs down, it feels like it's just it's adding 2 orbs, but it just forces a border escape, and I think I can do that by myself. So yeah, essentially, after the 3 card is blocked, there are some spacings where you can completely catch border escape off of it. But I think if you're and with F5A, you can catch the 3 card border escapes with F5A only in certain spacings where it does less than 2 orbs. But then there's also spacings that are farther than that where you can border escape, where you can catch a border escape with high jump J5A, right? But that's a read. Most of the time though, you're going to. I feel like most of the time you're chasing though. I most of the time just chase the border escape. just dash up in 2A, and then if they border escape, it's jaded A or something like that. But yeah, but
Blaze on point. But are you on point enough to tell me about the last spell card? We have a timer here. No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. So we the last spell card that you probably want to talk is the Illusionary Dominance. The most it's not the only damage spell card because the 3 card is also used for damage, but it kind of feels like the most used to get damage. So do you use it?
Well, I use like 2 or 1, I think. I'm not a huge like damage fan, unless you're talking about LRE, which is like damage and crush in one hand, right? But this card is just the good thing about this card is that it combos from 2A. I think if it didn't have that, it would be really, really hard for people to use because the ability to combo from 2A is something that not a lot of characters have. So, being able to combo from 2A into a spell card that does decent damage, I guess. It's not like it's actually, I think it doesn't even do 5 card damage, but it does decent damage of 2A. And plus, like, you also have some weathers that aid it, I guess, like Drizzle and like
Scorching Sun. Scorching Sun gives you a lot of damage if you use it.
Yeah. I don't know any regular combos from it besides that. Dilate into 5 card, is that a combo with Illusionary Dominance?
Yeah, it is.
Kind of, yeah.
It does 4.1k.
Like, the thing about Illusionary Dominance is that, one, it's a spell card you have to control to get the damage done.
Oh, it's a mid-screen, though, I just had to...
Yeah.
And you also need to hit with the second part of the spell card and not the first explosion. The gust actually parades so hard that you lose all the damage. So you have to hit with the moving part.
Yeah, with 2A you can't really help that though because you're kind of close.
Yes. That's why you lose a lot of damage.
But with Dilate, like 6XC, I think that I've also seen that be used. If you get a combo for that, you get decent damage as well. But all those combos, I'm pretty sure you can look them up and find them. But I think the other cool part about this full card is the crushes. I think the area right or 0.5, 1. I'm betting on 1.
I'm not sure. Right? Well, it does a lot. It does quite a lot of speed.
Well, once I'm okay. Yeah, there you go. See, I'm an Aya main. All right, so it does 1 orb damage, right? For the burst, right? If you get to crush with that, I think the prorate is ignored, right?
Oh, it does 1 orb. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so you can create some crush strings with it. I don't know if you can border escape the bullets into the thing, but regardless, if it does crush, you get 1 a crush and a cool little combo. So the wind is pretty nice as well. I think I've also seen that be used as a snipe sometimes.
Ooh, damn.
The wind, or just like does it graze? I don't know if it grazes.
I feel like it grazes.
Yeah.
Like I have the feeling. I don't know, but I have the feeling.
Yeah, but if it does graze, you can use it like as a cool graze attack for people that are diagonally above you.
Oh, it doesn't graze.
Oh, it doesn't graze. Damn.
So basically, it's a damage card. It can also be used in strings and it combos from 2A. Overall, it's a pretty good card. That would be the overall presentation of Aya as a character. We can close it out by going through matchups. We don't need to be too in depth. Present all the matchups you think are important, like where you don't have to play flowcharty or like you can play all you want. Like present the matchups where you feel you have to change your game plan.
Yeah, like the best and worst.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I'm a Hisouten main, so I'm going to say that you probably have to change your playstyle for every matchup.
Well, yeah.
Well,
overall, that's
let me
right.
See. The most I would change is like Suwako is definitely up there, right? You got Suwako. She definitely, instead of Aya being a rooster that she is normal with other characters, with Suaka, it's like she really turns into a chicken, right? Because she can't really do much. Um, it's mostly just about getting out danced. So Kamachi's up there too in terms of Suaka, but the thing is like Kamachi also gets countered by a lot of Aya's normals. So she's somewhere in the middle. The highest though, I really think like Suako really messes with Aya's head, honestly. Despite being low tier. Another character that I think
I see.
in quotation, but let's see. I think Oku also changes up her I think Oku also changes up how Aya is supposed to play, mostly because she has actual anti-airs. So you can't just do diagonals. You actually have to, play Street Fighter. No, I don't know. Yeah, man, and you get a few parts in your block string where you have to change what you do because Oku's special, and her 4A was made in special.
Her defense is a little special.
Yeah,
she's a special child.
She's special. But yeah, technically, Oku changes up what you do a bit. Let's see. Those two. The rest, I mean, I think I don't think there's any character that feels like Aya doesn't have to look out for something. I think it's just if you going through quickly. All right, Alice. Yeah, she places a lot of dolls, and those dolls have delayed C bullets hits, and you try to go in, and you get hit by the doll sometimes. You get hit by J6A, general Alice stuff, right? You have to watch for J6A. So you have to come out from angles that are hard to get hit by the bullets, by the doll bullets or the J6A, right? Hopefully Shinky isn't here, so he doesn't start spreading out. But all right, so
watching after the Alice podcast.
All right. So that's the Alice matchup. Just one of them now. Iku, alright, she gets harassed in the corner. She can't get out, right? J6A wrecks Iku pretty easily. Iku still has veil though. And this is another matchup where still again Aya has to, if Iku runs like her bullet skill cards in, Aya has to keep raising a lot. But I think this is the matchup where J6A is used really well. It's supposed to be used really well. Okay, so that's Iku. Komachi is just a lighter Suako, with better pressure. So yeah, just think of it as that, I think, because 5C and 214 just completely wreck anything that Alice have, except, that's a tornado. Raisin is the matchup where ISJ5A and like general melee just feel like they're actually kind of fair, just because like Raisin have B bullets and Raisin's normals are also pretty amazing. So it actually, I think the Raisin matchup actually turns into being like Aya kind of trying to play defensively. Oku I went over, Suwako I went over, Yukari general, except you have to grace her on bullets a lot, and you have to watch out for her silly hitbox reductions, I guess. I don't think any other character really stands out to me instead of that changes Aya's playstyle very much. Just Patchouli, I guess. She's the character that really makes you feel like you're playing a Demaka game, but like I think she kind of just does that to every character, so I don't feel like it's too special.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
Oh yeah. Then we also have the 9-1 matchup with Mei Ling. I didn't mention this character, but because I feel like Aya doesn't really change her gameplay too much versus Mei Ling, as much as it is just everything of Aya, just like a lot of parts about Aya just like being very hard to do. So like I think you're still trying to do similar stuff. You're trying to grace Mei Ling and hit her. You're trying to snipe her a bit. The thing is like all of that just gets like buffed, just gets nerfed, right? Because not only Mei Ling has like good bullets, like 5C just covers everything Aya can do, and it kind of just like you're either forced to read the 5C and you have to still be really close for that, and grace through it and hit Mei Ling, which is still kind of hard. because you have to stay close to meleeing, and meleeing up close is also a problem child. All right, so and or you stay you try to challenge meleeing up close, and your J5A is just like an 11-inch J5A, that just kind of airs you out of the air as well. She has like annoying, her B bullets actually erase your B bullets as well. No surprise there, but the thing is, like, I've never seen like Mei-Link's JB be so useful as with the Aya matchup, because it feels like if Mei-Link just high jump and uses JB, like it doesn't only cover like Aya's J5B, it also just like counters Aya's J5A as well. So you also have that problem. So melee is hard, bulleting is hard, keeping Mei-Ling locked down is hard. Because Mei-Ling has one of the best defenses in the game, in my opinion. She coin, backdash, walk, reverse, pretty good reversal too, honestly. The hits upward too, so that's even better. And yeah, I think it does, like, I think you still, you still have the J today. That's really like the best advantage I can think of versus Mei-Ling. Is okay, you have the J today still, so it's not a problem. And whenever Mei-Ling wants to come in, you can still snipe her with J5B. But apart from that, it's kind of problematic, I guess. Yeah. By the way, her jab is like 5 frames too, or 6 frames. Her 5A, Mei-Ling's 5A is like 6 frames, right? Genki?
Oh, sorry, I was reading. The Mei-Ling jab you want?
Yeah, it's 6 frames, right?
Sorry, we are close to the end, so 4A. 6 frame, yeah, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
The second fastest jab in the game. I think Shirno is 5. Let me see.
It's 5.
No, it's 6. No, it's 6.
Oh, it's 6. Damn. Okay.
Maybe 2A. 2A is 5. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, like this matches Aya out of some of her blocking sometimes. So, if you're a saver, you're just always laughing at Aya because you're just pressing 4A like the Russian that you are, and you just get you poke Aya out of her pressure very often. So you have to really watch out when you're pressuring.
Everyone on blast. And I think that's kind of that was kind of everything. Do you feel like you are missing something that you want to say about Aya before we kind of close it out in a sense?
Okay, so I went into I don't know if I might have went too deep into it. I just want to say, like, this character is pretty fun. So like I mean, I think she really she's hard in the sense that you have to really learn your combos and stuff. When it comes to pressure, you have to have a really good sequence in your mind, and by that I mean it sounds like flowchart. It's technically just a flowchart, but
Have
it's
a
like
good flowchart.
when it comes to block strings, you have to really you can't just do stuff on the fly. You have to have stuff in mind that you already have in the past. From building up from experience and stuff, and the better you get at this, you start to combo from different kind of hits, because a lot of the offense that I explained is a lot of people just blocking or either mashing and getting hit into potentially comboable hits. But comboing off of these hits are very hard with Aya as well. You have getting hit by 2A in the air and stuff. So Aya pressure, it takes a lot of effort. It's flowcharty. Yeah, you still have to brain, because you have to adapt to whatever people tend to block more, but I think Aya is mostly just fun because she can crush really well, and her neutral is pretty fast. It can range from being chickeny to pretty fast, and I like Aya because she has in terms of normals, she has answers to pretty much everything, right? You take out bullets and it feels like Aya like dominates in terms of normals. So this character is definitely fun, and like her combos are satisfying as well. They don't do a lot of damage though, so I feel like that's a turn off for a lot of people. But if you like being able to combo many different hits, you know, and having different combos, you know, the fact that I didn't know like every single combo and you know, Splinter just keeps dropping them as well, even though he knows like probably all of them. Just goes to show you that, you know, yeah, this character, good combo ability, good neutral, pressure is hard, but warding. So she's a rewarding character. If you can really pull everything off correctly. So yeah.
So in the end, Aya has been confirmed for being a good character. Whoa.
Top tier.
Unexpected. Unexpected. Oof, and I guess that was it in terms of the character. Oof, that was tough. So, as per usual, we have the question segment. You guys from the Twitch chat, all 14 of you can ask us whatever, and we will try to answer. While we do that, Zero, my man, are you there in the shadows? Tell me yes.
Hello.
No, we don't have Zero Fuse being the shield man.
Oh, is Zero Fuzz here? Oh yeah, Zero Fuzz.
He has
He's
to be.
been lurking.
My man.
No, I'm not here.
Oh, he's not here.
Damn it.
I got confused.
Damn.
So we have a bunch of tournaments happening in the next month. Yeah, we have a bunch of tournaments happening in the next month, more than the end of this one.
What do
So,
we have, like
let's-
4 of them?
We are a lot. Let's go one by one. So first of all, we have one on this very Saturday thing. Let me check. June 30, which is Saturday. Yeah. So we have Hearts United.
I'm an Aya man. Ran, what are you talking about?
So we have. So we have. So we have Hearts United 2 on June 30, which is the Irish tournament, and it's a team-based tournament. People.
Get teams of 4.
Teams of
They're
4
like,
will
they're
fight.
like crew
each other.
battles, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes. Teams of 4 will fight, and there will be 2 winners. Actually, it's not like first, second, or third place. It's more like 2 separate winners based on brackets. Then on the Sunday of the very first day of July, we have Howl European Tournament, and on the same day we actually also have Dream Chasers once again, which will be happening like 4 or 5 hours after Howl Tournament. It should be fine. We have also the Leg Tournament on July.
Why do you name it like
14th.
that? What's your problem?
It's called like
man?
it's called like
I know it's a tribute to Aya's Yafi's old tournament, isn't it?
It's
No.
called the OP Lag Tournament Mark II.
it's
Yeah.
actually Lag Tournament because it uses like you have to play with Amachi and no Soku roll.
Soaker roll is banned. Seating is placed towards least optimal connection.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
god. Oh, what? Oh man.
Zero tier is also not allowed.
Jesus Christ! It's going to
Okay,
be.
so is this a revenge? Like, Mioru less DC or?
It's gonna be awful.
It's gonna be great. And then, which I feel is really important. Wow! Basically, the end of the
Yeah, Splinter is retired. So.
At the end of the next month, July 28, we have the online breakdown 2018. I'm feeling it right now, like so far ahead. No, so early actually, because it's not a tournament from us. It's a tournament from somewhere else, but somehow we got Hisouten Soku in there, and that's kind of crazy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
big.
it's gonna be a pretty big deal, I think. Like,
Yeah,
we're
totally.
gonna get some exposure to several other online fighting communities.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, real talk. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be medium because like I feel like whenever people like open up a Twitch chat, a Twitch stream, and they don't see what they're there to see. You know, they just like click X. If they just click X, then it's like, okay, I don't think anything is gonna happen. If they don't click X, that's assuming that they love their streamer so much that they're actually going to ignore the fact that it's not BlazeBlue or whatever game they were usually coming there to see. Well, if their streamer eventually, maybe they'll play so good, but considering me, I press X. When I just press X.
Blaze just gets the fuck out.
Wow, it doesn't
I don't see so good. I just press X. Like,
I think that in whatever case, the streamer will be bigger than us, so there will be a lot more people watching. Like, someone us to watch that, and it's gonna be interesting. I mean, it's so cool, but it's not from here. Maybe we will even see players that we never even saw.
So, yeah, but they're all gonna be bad.
Are you going to participate?
Represent NA?
Which one?
The online breakdown. Are you going to be there? Tell me yes.
Wait, which one? Because we have two mainstream tournaments. We have the Shimatora one giving us.
The Shimatora one is the online breakdown. The other one, which is our exhibition, is going to be far ahead in time. Not right.
Oh yeah, I think
that's planned.
With the Shimatora one, no, it all depended on like who was going to sign up. For me to sign up, I think I said, if there was people who I think are going to show the game really well, who are going to exhibit the game really well, then I will commentate. If I feel like the people are just scrubs, then I'm going to have to play. I feel like. I
mean, gosh, can't you at least represent us in the tournament? You're strong in everything. Come on.
No, because I was going to commentate with Tess because that's also good.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. The online breakdown has different people. Like the Twitch stream is someone else, I think, but we get like you and Tess commentators and everything.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't get the hype in commentating. But, when I'm like, oh crap, is he about to crush someone? And he just chops the combo, right? I'm just like, PC all over again. It's like, or I see the ability for someone to like do something sick. Like, yo, they're about to do something sick, and they just get mashed. I'm like, oh my god, what am I watching?
I feel like this is going to be it's gonna end badly. Oh boy.
So you're saying strong people join so you don't have to do it yourself?
Yeah, understandable. That's just kind of how I feel, I guess.
Understandable.
I'm sorry if I call anyone bad, but the important part is, though, you have to.
You call everyone bad. Get out. You call everyone bad. It doesn't even matter. So while we were discussing this deep understanding of the online breakdown, do you guys have any questions for us, for me, for Blaze, for Elos? We are close to the end. I'll reshield my Dream Chasers next Sunday, and the fact that there is a European tournament made by Howl again, because European tournaments, it's cool. And Dream Chasers, we need more people playing video games.
Splinter asked a meme question, I think.
Really? Where?
Oh,
it's Blaze's favorite mix-up.
The one that makes me win.
Let's see. Honestly, if you want me to be serious about this, I think it's really simple, actually. My favorite mix-up is literally just getting a ROM block 6E36. That's and it plays exactly on my head.
Free.
Whenever I think of Aya, I think of 6A gets ROM block 68236. There you go. That's my favorite mix-up right there. I'm a simple man, alright? I just want to get crushes.
Understandable. A simple man that plays in a simple way.
I just like breaking orbs, man.
Yeah. Oh, I like when people respect the Jaded 8 too, and they're just like floating in the air, right? And you're on the ground walking around this area. You're not even just like moving fast. You're just like walking around because people are so scared of moving. I also like that. And then suddenly you just jump and jitteray them as soon as they think they're about to move. I think that's sick too.
I mean, hello, silent you here. Can't you just ask me that?
What? Genki, how does it feel to win Sokuset?
I mean, why do you even... it's pretty good. It's been a nice day overall. So.
It's been a nice 100 tournaments.
It's been tough. It's been tough. I enjoy the day, you know.
Sometimes, like, I question myself. I said, "Was this really worth it?"
That's not nice. I don't like that attitude. I don't like it. Zero is asking you if you are hype about me winning, but I guess by saying that I don't feel like you.
He still thinks you're bad.
No, pretty much.
I'm happy that Genki won a tournament, of course. You know, it doesn't matter if there was me in it or there was IROC in it. You know, as long as you win, that's all that matters, right?
What do you mean by this?
No, because you think you can always make an excuse to a way that you could have won. Like, example, right? Me last tournament, right? I would have won if Grand Finals was just best of 3. That would have been easy. Like,
right.
And Fear told me, I make my Grand Final tournaments best of 3, right? And you technically would have won versus Miso Sai if it had been best of 3, right? So it's like, you're right. I don't have to feel bad about losing. I would have won.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, I just take that victory and I make more on the way. It's whatever.
Yeah, I'm just happy you beat Nanyako, right? That's yeah.
Oh god, I just play more. Whatever, it's fine. I still have work to do.
Champion, why don't you close this out?
I think it's time for everyone to get some rest. Okay, this has been the podcast 2024th episode, and we're close to the end. The characters are almost done for. Hope we're prepared for some, Amelia.
Yeah, we'll put that poll up again for you guys to vote.
Some patchouli, ooh.
Some
the zero plus.
Yeah, some hot spicy patchouli. And what was the other character? Amelia, patchouli, and
Raisin.
Yeah,
I don't think
we'll have Blaze
his
back
characters
again.
fucking bad.
I mean, we may even get Blaze again next time, so be prepared for that. And with that said, we will see you all next time on the same channel, on the same everything. Say hi,
See
guys.
ya.
Good night.
Take care, boys.
See ya.